My boyfriend and his best friend gang raped me until I started to bleed out. Story time. When I was 17, I met my boyfriend, Casey, his real name, by the way. He came to my village to write his exam and he had this Nepo baby look, so it was very easy for someone to fancy him. He asked me to be his girlfriend. At that time, I was clearly not on his level, but I thought I was going to give it a trial. And at the time, I was also done with secondary school, so we started getting closer to each other gradually. He's into fish, chicken, dog farming, and sometimes planting too. So he's clearly not somebody that his parents were controlling. I could say that Casey had so much money for his age at the time. Casey had a best friend who was clearly making advances at me at the time, but I was in love with Casey, so I was not listening to his best friend at all. Our relationship started progressing. I met his family, they liked me, and that was that. One particular day, I helped Casey out at the farm. We went to his house, we had our bath, and then it was like we should spend the night at his best friend's house. I didn't think so much of it because I was with my boyfriend and he was definitely gonna protect me. And who did he even need to protect me from? His friend. It didn't make sense. And because the both of us had worked a lot at the farm and I was exhausted, they told me that I should not bother cooking, that they were going to cook for me. I should just chill. That was when we got to his best friend's house. When they were about to bring the noodles inside, they turned off the main lights and turned on the blue light. So I didn't really see the color of the noodles. And I did not even have a lot of knowledge about all those things. I just knew that I took the first bite of the noodles and I noticed the vegetable. And I asked, what vegetable is this? And they said it was ugu leaves. I mean, KC is a farmer or was a farmer, so I felt like, okay, maybe it's reasonable for him to put ugu in his noodles. And I started eating. In less than 20 minutes, my eyes started turning off. I started to feel weird, a different kind of way. The way I was feeling started to get worse and I started to shout, but it was a three-story building and nobody was going to hear me. Then my boyfriend came to meet me. He tried consoling me and said that I should relax now, that what's going on. And I was trying to explain to him, but I felt like maybe he didn't know how I was feeling because at that time it was a feeling I had never felt in my life before. So I thought I was going to die. My body became weaker. I could no longer shout. And that was when I saw Casey's friend bring out 3 packs of condom, threw it at my boyfriend Casey. And then I realized that I was in trouble. My boyfriend first started. He gripped me aggressively for 1 good hour around that time. The guy that I thought was Nepo baby, that looked clean, that looked calm, that looked classy, suddenly turned into a beast that I no longer could recognize. My boyfriend stayed on me for so long and then he got up and then his friend exchanged turns with him. And I could see the excitement on his friend's face, like he had been waiting since forever to get this opportunity and he finally landed in his doorstep. The friend lasted longer than my boyfriend did, and I started to bleed in my woman area. They were taking turns at me so bad that they were sweating profusely, and whenever I got soaked in the sweat, they would drag me to the bathroom and open shower on me. I'm tall and I'm thick, so you can imagine how difficult it would be dragging me to the bathroom. But the both of them were so energetic that they were doing it. They took turns on me all night till I heard the cocks crowing in the morning, and that was when I knew that it was daybreak. To make things worse, Casey left me in his friend's apartment and he went to attend to his customers at the farm. And immediately Casey left, his friend started again. Perede, I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, Casey's friend, took turns on me all morning until 12 noon when the weed that they laced my noodles with started to wear off. At the time, I had already slept and he woke me up. He started to give me this disgusting look like I was nothing and then he told me to leave. He took me to the bus station for me to enter a bus to my boyfriend's parents' house because my boyfriend was going to be there. And when I got there, this guy saw me, my boyfriend, and he took me to his neighbor's place where I slept for 2 days straight up because I was not feeling myself. I was not normal. When I woke up, my boyfriend was beside me, and then I had a conversation with him about everything that just happened because I had a recap. And that was when this guy told me that what he did with Casey on me was some sort of cult initiation. He said Perede was a cult member, and him, Casey, just joined the cult. And Perede said, as part of the initiation, anything he asks Casey for, Casey cannot say no. And he asked for me, for them to have their turns on me. And Casey knew I was so stubborn, I was not going to accept it. They had to lace my noodles with weed. He begged me. He apologized. I cried, but I forgave him. And I still got back with him. Remember, I was still a child. I was barely 17. Not long after that, Casey started treating me like trash. He would bring women into my own apartment and he would sleep with them there. He would even make me cook for those girls that he was bringing into my apartment. and I would beg and beg for him to stop, but he didn't. While all of this was going on, I met a wealthy man who decided to take care of, took me to the hospital for medical checkups. He was very nice to me. But suddenly, I stopped enjoying passionate sex and I started wanting it rough. This man decided to pay for a therapist to counsel me. And one night, while I was on my period, I didn't know what got into me. I just used my period blood to swear for Casey. Right now, I've heard news about Casey is nothing. And sometimes I feel like I went a little bit too far by cursing him the way I cursed him. But that event that happened in my life in that year is still controlling me up until this date. So I don't know if I really overreacted. Despite being a girl that makes my own income, I still see myself as a sex machine and I still enjoy it rough. I can't be in a serious relationship because all the guys that I've met always think that I'm a sex worker because of how rough I am in bed and how rough I want it. The last time I heard about Casey is in Europe now, but I don't think his life is doing well. So I don't know if I should feel bad for cursing him.